Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starko Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video. If you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code Starko to get a free starter pack. To do so, it is very simple guys. You go in settings, use promo code, and you enter the code Starko, S-T-A-R-K-O. You press OK and you will receive your free starter pack, giving you a early boost into the game. Also guys, if you're looking to get more drag coins, we host a giveaway for drag coins every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. The event shall be posted at the moment you're watching this video in our YouTube channel and the front page of the YouTube channel, whatever. It shall be there. Make sure to join us every Saturday night guys, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Now with that said, today we're gonna be taking a look at Uncle O, the new battle pass characters that's getting released on December 1st. Well, November 30 for US people, but December 1st for most of the world. So December 1st guys, we're gonna get Uncle O as battle pass, and today we're gonna take a look at this, well, this Panda Santa Claus, if I can actually call him like that. We're gonna be taking a look at him, taking a look at his skills, taking a look at how to build him and how to play him. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be showcasing a little bit of gameplay with the full Panda team too, which is gonna be in arena and in phase 2 of the raid against a Mega Wheel. Since his team of Panda, that's I actually recommend, is a mix of both magic damage and physical damage. We cannot really test it properly against Solius or against Ardog, so we're gonna test them as good as possible against Mega Wheel in the tier 8 raid. So let's get started here guys. Let's jump into heroes now. The recommended team with Uncle O, in my opinion, is Lake Lead with Ember, Uncle O, Hilda, and Shell. And I do believe those are the 5 strongest Panda in the game. As for right now, the rework really trashed every other single Panda in the game, so it's pretty much only use those Pandas or yes crew. So hopefully they're gonna do more work on reworking, but this is definitely the best Panda team in my opinion. Or you could also replace Shaolin for Fao to actually get more dodge. Auto or dodge is not guaranteed to apply to everybody anymore, which is kind of a bust. But anyway, let's jump into Uncle O. By the way guys, you cannot get him to gear 12 yet. His gear 12 challenge is not released yet. So first thing, we're gonna take a look at the skills. Which skills should be level up to level 6 and which skills you can actually avoid skip on leveling up to level 6. So first we're going to take a look at the passive ability Alchemy Secrets. A 60% chance to inflict daze or burning on three random enemies for 2 turns after using skills. Now if you can actually get that to level 5, it only lasts one turn, so definitely this is a strong ability to get to level 6, but since it's only a 60% chance, probably not going to be the most important ability to get to level 6 obviously. And next ability, we have the third skill, Festive Fireworks. Inflict accuracy decrease on all enemies for 2 turns. Apply critical damage increase to all allies for 2 turns. Apply critical chance increase to all ally Panda for 2 turns. And restore 1 turn to each Hilda ability. So pretty much that guaranteed that your Hilda is going to be able to keep that count at 100% of the time unless she gets ability block or kill, which would actually make your team so much stronger. That synergy with Hilda is huge. And now if you actually go that and you remove 1 level of this ability, the accuracy decrease is down to 1 turn. And the initial cooldown is increased by 1 turn, so you cannot use the third skill on the first turn. So that's a huge boost. So probably the most important ability to get to level 6, but we're gonna take a look at the other 2 ability first. But this is a very important ability. The second skills, you better watch out. Start with 1 turn on cooldown, deal 420% physical damage to an enemy. This attack cannot be dodged. Have the damage from this attack penetrate their shield. Hilda gain a shield equal to 25% of the damage dealt. So that's actually a very strong ability, but you want to make sure you have your critical chance increase and your critical damage increase before you use this ability, so Hilda can gain a massive shield out of this ability. If you reduce that to level 5, you can see you lose 70% physical damage. So this ability is going to be very important to get to level 6 too. And then we have the basic ability, the first ability, Firecracker, deal 250% physical damage to an enemy. Decrease the days are burning target turn meter by 20%. So basically what they mean is if the target is days or burn, affected by days or burn, the turn meter of the target is going to be reduced by 20%, because this is really not clear it's been written, so I just want to make sure that. And if you actually get this ability to level 5, you lose you know, instead of 20% turn meter, it's 10%. Okay, so 5% they go out 10%. This is supposed to be 5% increase, which should be technically 15% and not 20%. So there's definitely a wording mistake here. If the devs are watching that, make sure to pay attention to that. But yeah, so you lose 5% turn meter decrease and you lose a little bit of damage. So level 5 is totally fine on this ability. So the two abilities that are very important to get to level 6 on Uncle O is a festive fireworks, and you better watch out. I think that both abilities are as important as the other to actually get to level 6. So get both of those to level 6, and the other two ability, the passive ability and the basic skills, to level 5 is totally fine. Now that we talk about the skill, how do you want to play this, guys? Pretty simple. Use the third skill and cooldown. Use the second skills when your critical chance and critical damage increase is up. Skip it if it's not up, and then use your basic skills when you're not using either other skills. And that's pretty much the way you want to play. And very, very simple, guys. Now if we actually take a look at the runes, first of all, this is trash. The recommendation rune, it is trash. Is good for beginner that people don't know what to do, have no clue what they're doing. It can actually be good telling you which set to use, but the stats they recommend you, like the south, that's south bottom, yeah, the south stats, they recommend you to use shield as main stats, as base stats, primary stats. Wow, they need to go back to school, those dev. Sorry dev, but this is terrible. This needs to be either critical chance, critical damage, or damage, depending on the runes you're going to be using. But us, we're going to be using 2 critical chance and 4 critical damage runes. So here the optimal is going to be critical chance at the bottom stats, and we're not going to follow the rune set because you don't need those runes to get the stats you actually need. Yes, it's possible to get high speed and high potency without using speed and potency runes, so I think this is not good, especially that more damage that Uncle O does, the more survivability Hilda gets. I think it's just so important to go with as much damage as possible. Anyway, that's my opinion, so do not use the auto assign here. Do not use the recommended runes here, guys. You're gonna make your Uncle O trash by doing so, in my opinion. So let's take a look at the runes we're using. So basically, key points, key important points, whatever you say this word, you're gonna get as much speed as possible. You're gonna get potency around 70%. You're gonna get critical chance around 50% and critical damage around 180%. Those are the requirement. Potency, did we say potency? Yes, around 70% plus. Speed, you want to be over 200. Obviously, more speed you get, the better it is. So let's take a look at the primary you actually want. So the northeast primary, you want speed, obviously. The south primary, you want a critical chance. Unless you go 6 critical chance runes, then you want to have critical damage there. Then the third primary, you want potency to be able to apply that days, that turn meter down, and that burning as much as possible. Potency is very important, so potency primary here. Not secondary stats, you want to focus on speed as much as possible, potency as much as possible, and critical chance as much as possible. And you can see we have a lot of speed, and we got very lucky on the secondary stat here. 13 speed. We have 1.53% potency. We have 13 speed and 3% potency here. That is crazy. Another 13 speed. I told you guys, I got very lucky with the speed secondary stats here. Another 14%, 14 speed, and here another 13 speed. So you can see we have a lot of speed. So overall, we have 51.15% critical chance, 180% critical damage. We have 239 speed without any speed runes. That is crazy. 79 99% potency. So those are the stats you actually wanted to be aiming for. And if you look at the artifact, you want to go with the stats you're actually missing. Here I was missing that potency. I was below 70% potency, so I went with the potency artifact here, which actually gonna give me what I need. It's really about, there's no specific artifact for Uncle Ho yet, so it's really about the stats you actually need on him, and this potency is what we needed on him. So this is how you build and play Uncle O. Next, guys, we're going to be jumping into the gameplay section. We're going to test him out in arena against a pretty solid team, and then we're going to be jumping into tier 8 raid phase 2. So let's move on here. Let's move on. Arena here we go. So arena, we're going to be facing Shaking Testing. What's up, Shaking? His team is actually Talent Lead with Buff, Philia, Titania, and Uncle O. So not a bad team, although I don't think Uncle O is a good plug and play character, so probably weaken himself in this team. In my opinion, I think that would have been more viable to put Garrett or something like that, but I guess he wanted to test out the plug and play status of Uncle O, which is actually not that great in my opinion. So we're gonna be jumping in that with this team. So you can see only 132,000 power. We have Lake, Shaolin, Hilda. We can actually replace Shaolin for PvP, and arena we could replace Shaolin with Buff, obviously. So we have Lake, Ember, Hilda, Shaolin, and Uncle O. So you have to keep in mind, if we actually replace Shaolin with Buff, that will actually make this team so much stronger, but we're not going to be doing that because we like to do that kind of testing with a faction only, in the race only, whatever you want to call it. So that is how we are doing it now. With the nerf to Talent 2 actually makes it a lot easier to actually face her. Let's see how this is going to go. We started with a taunt on Titania, so that might not actually go as well as we want here, definitely. So first, we're gonna apply that critical chance, critical damage as much as possible, and we want to start killing that Titania. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get lucky on it. So we missed. Okay, we still have to kill her. You can see the damage is actually pretty solid on Uncle O on the tank. That was actually pretty good. Not as good as what's her name, Amber, but you get the point here. Now we're gonna go that AoE, so this is out. Now we got hit by that, so this is not going good. So because we did have the taunt right off the bat, this is probably not going to be a kill. Earlier I did it and actually destroyed this thing, but now we had bad RNG because of Buff. But you can see if we had Buff right off the bat, that would have been a totally different fight here without a single doubt, because we could not handle Talent early on, and that kind of messed us up a little bit. But you can see the actual power of this team, it's very strong. If we actually do the test with replacing Shaolin with Buff, actually we can actually do it to show the comparison here to see how it go. But earlier when I actually got the rank number 1, I actually beat Shaking Testing with the exact same team I'm using right now. I was using the previous fight. So just to let you guys know that we just got hit by a very bad RNG fight here. So let's bring Buff here. Let's jump in there and let's see the difference when you replace Shaolin with Buff. Although Shaolin is not a bad character anymore, he's actually pretty strong panda. He is not Buff, you know. Buff is Buff. There's nothing you can do against that. Just Buff is Buff. That's pretty much it. So now you can see we did not get the taunt on Titania, which is actually gonna give us a huge advantage here. So first thing we're gonna do here is pretty simple. We're gonna give this guy the power. This one the power, because he's gonna get his AoE faster, which is gonna do a lot of damage early on, which I do believe is gonna be very important. Now we did some TMR, we did not keep Titania for taunting, but we're not doing bad either. We're gonna be able to finish that, I do believe. Oh, we got the stealth, but if we get a good AoE or something. Oh, we got miss here. Did I have a blind? I didn't pay attention. Probably. So this is not optimal fight again, but let's see if we can actually turn this around. That'll be interesting to see. I have no idea. Apparently earlier it was going so much better, but you know, when you record, you always get the worst run when you record. That's just basic, but damn, that there we go. So once we actually get the good shit going, the AoE going, we just wreck them. So you can see this team is actually pretty damn solid, just to make sure he's not in the red HP anymore, and boom. So once you get that AoE rolling with those two, with the critical chance, critical damage from Uncle, it's actually pretty damn solid. But I do believe that Hilda needs to have a little bit more survivability to actually pair in this team a little bit better, at least for Arena. But for Battleground, this is gonna be amazing. Now we're gonna go jump in tier 8 raid, and we're gonna test this team in actually tier 8 raid. So let's open this raid. Boom, boom, boom. Start immediately. We're gonna jump into phase 2, and we're gonna test out this team in phase 2. Let's remove that. And I do believe this team is very high on damage and actually going to be a good focus for phase 2 in my opinion, because teams that attack often are not good for phase 2, but teams that attack rarely, you know, not too fast, not too often, not multi-hit, actually usually fare good against Mega Wheel. So that's actually what we want to be testing. I haven't tested that yet in this raid, by the way, guys. This is totally new for me with Uncle O in this Panda team. Obviously, we like to see the synergy with specific team when we actually do our testing, and I think that this one is actually a great one to be testing. So let's see if we can actually do 10 to 15% will actually be the target in the amount of damage we do to Mega Well. So let's see if it's gonna happen well or not. That's kind of what we want to see here. So let's get started with the you know, all the buffs. That's nice. We get some crazy buff now. That's actually pretty awesome. We're gonna let the AoE actually take care of the side here, and now we could go with the second skill here, but we don't actually need the regeneration. But we could use the turn meter increase. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's use that turn meter increase, turn meter reduction, and let's smack this bastard a little bit. So you can see we did quite a good amount of damage here. And yeah, this is going pretty good so far. Now this one might actually not be optimal, because we are going to attack the target 7 times, so that is not going to be optimal, but still can do some great damage. That AoE is out. We're going to kill her just so we don't take extra damage, and then we're going to focus back on Mega Wheel as much as possible. And you can see Hilda is actually getting some pretty decent survivability. She's not taking too much of a beating from him, which is actually pretty great. Already down to 7% damage, which is pretty awesome. Get some turn meter increase. We got some massive damage here, more damage. And you can see the shield on Hilda popping, which is actually pretty great. 48,000 damage. That is awesome. And now Uncle is dead. That is fine. We're gonna get the town back on the Hilda in a sec. Here we go. So that's gonna do the job here, and we're gonna be able to bring at least another few percent in damage. We shall be able to reach that 15%. I believe so. At least I want to believe so. That's gonna be close. Okay, so we got this AoE, very strong AoE, another strong AoE. Man, that AoE damage is pretty crazy. And you can see we did about 16% damage. We're gonna take a look at the actual how much Uncle did in damage. Doesn't seem that great, but it's because he spent a lot of time, you know, using his third skills for buff and stuff, but actually brings great damage to Ember and Lake, which is pretty amazing. So you can see we did 620,000 damage here. Really easy. Could definitely replace Shaolin for something like buff or something better than what we had out there, or maybe a slow, somebody that applies slow, and that'll just make this team so much stronger. I believe so. So you can see the potential of this team with Uncle O and the pandas. This is awesome. This is an awesome panda reworks, definitely for those pandas, definitely not for the rest of the pandas though. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all we had to showcase in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, for daily gaming content. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video to show your support to the channel and help us get this video more exposure. Help us get more exposure for this video. Yeah, that's how we say it. Also, guys, if you have any question, comment, feedback, there's a comment section down below, or you can join me on my Discord server. The link is in the description down below. So, guys, hopefully you're all gonna be enjoying this brand new character and gets released on December 1st. And well, you all keep enjoying playing Dragon Champion. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.